Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to Practically Tactical. This is our live show streaming to you on YouTube, but you can also catch all of our shows on iTunes in a podcast format. New episodes should be dropping every Sunday. So if you're out there watching it in chat, I appreciate you guys coming on to the show. If you guys got any questions, please put them in the chat. I'll be doing my best to monitor that. I know Jarhead is also out there in chat as well. So again, put your questions in there. We'll definitely be hitting them. Also, if you guys can click the thumbs up button if you like it and share, I would greatly appreciate it. So we're doing a very interesting topic today, and of course I had to bring on two guys who literally got paid for a living to wear the things, and it's going to be an awesome show. But we're doing an intro to plate carriers, kind of a little. There's a lot more to it once you start kind of getting into plate carriers. So these two guys, Jesse from 4C Tactical and Jarhead6 is going to come on and help us out here. But, yep, we're going to be talking plate carriers, so let's go ahead and jump into the show. Welcome to Practically Tactical, episode 75, brought to you by the Firearms Radio Network. The Practically Tactical show is a slightly more practical approach to the firearms lifestyle. The show features a roundtable discussion about guns, gear, and shooting, with some of the best firearms instructors, figures, and shooters in the firearms industry. For more information on the show, links to our guests, guns, and gear we discuss, please visit practicpodcast.com/075. On this episode, we're discussing the topic of Introduction to Plate Carriers with Jesse from 4C Tactical and Jarhead6 of YouTube operator fame. Best known for temple indexing. But Jesse, man, thanks for coming on, dude. I really appreciate it. Not a word. No? Well, we'll come back to you, Jesse. So up next here we got Mr. Jarhead6 himself, YouTube operator, the best, the biggest, most popular YouTube operator there is. Jarhead, man. Thanks for coming on, dude.
Thanks for the invite, man.
Yeah, no problem. Well, I can't talk plate carriers without, like, the operator of operators, so, you know. Yeah, it's a little payback. Now that you're on my show, I can do the same thing that you do to me.
That's right, man.
But for everybody out there for listening to podcasts, if you guys haven't checked out Jarhead6 on YouTube, please check him out, youtube.com, I think /Jarhead6, right?
Yeah, Jarhead6 videos, but if you put Jarhead6, it comes out.
Okay. And then, Jesse, you got the mic working? Nope, not yet. So, real quick here while Jesse's working on the mic here, I do have to jump in here, and it's actually been a couple weeks since I recorded a show. I have to apologize to everybody. We had some family stuff come up, so I was not able to make it to the Tough Mudder. That's also why we kind of went 2 weeks without posting up videos. The night before the FRN Tough Mudder in Chicago, I got a call at almost midnight that my grandfather passed away, so not the next day, but the day after that, I literally drove out to Idaho, where my family is from. And thus, being out there, I wasn't able to go to the Tough Mudder, record shows. I was not able to post shows, so I apologize about that. And then, don't worry, the FRN team will make sure that I am there next year. But I know a bunch of you listeners out there did go to the Chicago Tough Mudder, so I apologize. I wasn't there to meet you guys. I had to take care of some family things. So I apologize about that, but I will definitely catch you next year. So that's kind of why stuff didn't post. But we're all caught up on content now. All the live shows that we stream on Wednesdays we'll post on Sundays. No laps or extra shows on YouTube compared to podcasts. So just want to get that out there. So, Jesse, there we go.
Yeah, this mic you gave me is trash. No.
All right, so we got
Here,
Jesse.
I got a better mic for you. Yours sucked before. Oh, wait, this one sucks too.
Yeah. There's
No big
something
deal.
in common there. I won't point it out. But anyways, we got Jesse from 4C Tactical. Thanks for coming on, dude. Appreciate it.
What up?
Yeah. So on this episode here, we're going to be discussing an introduction to plate carriers because they're kind of I just ordered one. I'll get into that later here. But there's definitely kind of a little bit of planning and thought that needs to go into this process before it. So what I want to do real quick here is I want to give, just for those that maybe aren't familiar with these two fine gentlemen here, I want to give a little background from them here in a minute. And then we're going to kind of jump into it here because there's a specific reason I have these two guys on. But I do want to jump into our operators report real quick here, talk about some industry news. And it's actually relevant. There is a company called Armorware, and I'm linking from an ammoland.com article. Armorware came out with an AR-680 steel armor plate. And their link is called, it's called a industry game changer. And so, Jesse, you have a lot of experience with steel plates. I think, Fabian, you have more just with the SAPs, the ceramic plates, right? Jarhead?
Yeah, man. Maybe I'm breaking up, but yeah, man. You said ceramic plates?
Yeah, you're familiar with ceramic plates and not so much on the steel, right?
Yeah. That's correct.
Okay. So, but anyway, so the Amalone.com article, and again, the links in the show notes, is it's a full-size plate, 10 by 12, has a shooter's curve. It's can thwart multiple hits of green tips and M193. Basically, the AP rounds is 6.2 pounds thick, and it's 5 millimeters thick, which is an industry first. And I'm going to convert that into American sizes because I don't know how many inches that is. It's 0.19 inches thick, which is, as far as I know, is the thinnest that is out there. But Jesse, what's kind of your thoughts on an armor plate that is, I don't know if that's extremely light, but it's extremely thin, that stops pretty much up to 5.56 rounds for an MSRP of 135. What are your thoughts on the steel plate on that?
I mean, the thing about steel is it has some benefits. Obviously, you're talking multi-hit capable and definitely price point. Obviously steel is going to be a lot cheaper. But, yeah, the problem with most steel plates even is thinner is not always better, because a lot of these carriers and stuff are not designed to carry these super thin plates. So when you get them on, there's a lot of extra play in there. They're not meant to wrap it down as tight. Some of the systems are starting to design them for certain brands of plates out there, but like I said, it's kind of, at that point, it's getting harder to find the right carrier for it. That being said, obviously, price point, lightweight, I mean, that's always good, obviously, when you come to the civilian market, even though you might be wearing it under some sort of jacket or something along those lines, and that's where the thinness and kind of that low profile would definitely come in a lot more. So I think for civilian market, like I said, steel price point is there, and also that being small and concealable for more, I guess, everyday wear if you're into that kind of thing, or.
Yeah, Jarhead 6, you're a YouTube operator. You wear armor everywhere, right?
Yeah. Especially now that I'm pocket carrying my Glock 43. Glock 43, I carry plates as well.
Yeah.
No, man, I mean, it is what it is. I think that it all depends what you're gonna have it for. If you are looking for self-defense, being the fact that a lot of people here in the United States have AKs and AKs shoot rounds bigger than 5.56, I will go for something a little bit bigger. But again, it's going to be up to you. Just go ahead, man.
Oh, I was going to say, well, we're going to get into it here, but 6.5 pounds per plate, that would have been a heck of a lot nicer a couple years ago for you, wouldn't it?
Oh,
yeah, I think the plates that we carry were like, what, ceramic plates are about 7 pounds or something like that. Maybe
so
even
not
more.
Too much of a...
Yeah, but then you wear the front one, you wear the one in the back, you wear the two on the sides. Yeah, right. I can't remember the size.
Throat protector by the end of it. Like, that's what I said. Anymore, they pretty much got you like juggernauted out. When we first got there, it was a little bit easier, and we would just have to wear the interceptor vest with the front and the back plate, and then after a while, it was like, okay, you need your throat protector as well. Then it was like, okay, we're incorporating side plates. Then it was, okay, now you got to wear DAPs under the side plates, which are like a Kevlar armor that kind of like goes over your armpit. So, by the end, like I said, you're starting to sacrifice a lot of mobility and you're putting on a lot of weight. The thing about like the interceptor vest, like for the military especially, is you were stacking so much weight on the front of your vest that it would tend to pull it down. So now it's not even really covering where it's supposed to cover. You're exposing a lot of that area just because there's so much weight on the front of those vests. So then we started to where we would stack up a plate carrier, like a cheap Condor or something like that, plate carrier that we could throw over the top of the interceptor vest, and that would kind of balance that weight a lot better. It'd keep that weight more center line. So, I mean, because you're talking, you got frags there, you have a required amount of ammo, medical nods. I mean, there's a lot more stuff that you end up carrying. You can't run as slick as you can in, say your civilian role or something like that.
The funny thing is, like, you weigh about 130 pounds and you look like a fat kid that been eating Twinkies because you have all these plate carriers. and then you're inside the truck and you don't even fit in there because you look like a balloon. I'm telling you, it's a lot of weight. Maybe in the civilian cars it's not that bad, but in the Humvees, you have your radio on the side, you have this, you have that. Next thing you know, you're like confined to a small little space. Maybe I was a fat kid. Maybe it was just me.
Well, and Haji's house is not built for maneuverability either. Like, you know, you start getting in there, and it is tiny. Like, you're constantly, like I said, you're knocking into stuff. I mean, you got your weapons slung around you as well. You've pretty much got so much stuff you just balance out like this on top of yourself, you know? I mean...
I think there is, and we talked about this in the past, I think is there a huge unrealistic way how people look at this, and I talked about it the other day in the channel, talking about being in physical fitness and being in physical shape. Those plates weigh, you know, you're talking about 6.8 pounds, so we're talking about probably 14 pounds. Then we talk about the carrier. Then we talk about 6 mags, 223. We talk about a rifle. I mean, next thing you know, you're carrying 60 pounds of weight. And, I mean, you're going to go down. I remember an operation where the first 5 Marines that went down, and this was a huge operation, went down because dehydration. I mean, not even enemy contact. The first 5 guys went down because dehydration. They just couldn't keep up. And, I mean, we're talking about a string environment, but that's a big one. Weight counts. Every little piece or ounce that you add up to your body is gonna count. So you got to keep that in mind.
Yeah. Well, I kind of want to give you guys a comparison here. So, you know, again, this article from AmmoLand, you know, it's the newest, greatest, best thing. Well, so I did some research, and AR500.com sells an AR500 plate, same size, that weighs 5.5 pounds with coating, and it stops 7.62x39, 7.62x51 M80 rounds as well. And it's 0.21 inches thick. So it's literally 0.02 inches thicker, but it stops 308 and 7.62 AK rounds.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost a pound lighter. To me, if I was going to go that route, I'd go with the AR500.
Shameless plug, no.
I'm just saying, I would go.
No,
with
they sell like this trauma pad too that you can put behind. So for that extra weight that you're losing there, you can put this padding behind that's going to give you, you know, just that little bit more comfort. That's the other thing about steel is, you know, it's not comfortable. With the Sappi, it's, I guess, got a little more play to it, you would say, but the steel, there's no play to it. It's rigid there. So without some sort of padding, I mean, you feel it, you know? That's where you get into a lot of these more expensive carriers and stuff, and they have things that they call pontoons. So it'll actually push the carrier off of yourself, you know? And it'll give you a little more just cushion, allows for a little more airflow through there, because that's another big thing is, I mean, you cut off, you know? You're sealed into that. So all that sweat stays in there. I mean...
Not only a sweat, I swear after 6 months of deployment, you feel like one arm is skinnier than the other one, and like your stomach, I don't know, because all that concentration of the plate carrier, I swear that you lose weight in your right pec versus your left one or something. I don't know how that works out, but it looks weird. That's my point.
No, just salt stained. It'll stand up by itself with just the salt out of you. But I mean, a lot of things you gotta look at is how the carrier sits too. You know, and I mean that goes into the construction of the carrier. Depending on where those straps are, where they sit on you, is where that weight's going to be distributed. You know, how high that cummerbund sits, how high that actual carrier sits. Yeah. That's all going to play into where that weight ends up. You know, falling in the end. So. Yeah.
One of the things that
hold on, I'm gonna have to stop you because you guys are jumping on.
Man.
You guys are getting. I know you're getting way ahead of you guys here. So let's move on to our main segment here. I know we got to save all the good stuff.
Let's get some order.
I know. You guys are just so excited to talk about this, and it's awesome.
So much.
But so I want to walk us back just a little bit here, and so the way this came up, and actually at the exact recording at this time, Grey Ghost Gear is doing a 25% off sale on their own products. So their minimalist lightweight carrier, I think is what they call it, is after discount. You got to put it in your cart and check out. It's like $85. For those who aren't familiar with Grey Ghost Gear, they make awesome products, awesome company. They're also with Tactical Tailor, which, by the way, completely equipped my brother's complete whole unit when he was deployed in Iraq. Sent him a bunch of free gear.
How much are they paying you?
Nothing.
Shameless plug.
Nothing. I paid money for it. $85
Right.
is a deal.
No, for sure.
It's also in Cryptic Highlander, and they don't charge you extra for Cryptic. So, Jarhead, you're gonna be so jealous because I'm gonna take your operator title from you. But
I got
Now
a
it's
Glock
Team
43.
Windy Xville, and you are good to go.
yes. But what I want to do is sorry to go back here. So this all came up because I was like, hey, I just called Jesse like, hey, what do you think about this? You have an experience, you know anything about him? And then he was like, well, what do you think about this, and really kind of reminded me of like, God, there's a lot more actual planning and thinking. If someone that's going to go down this road, there's actually a lot of thought process to put into it to where you're not buying a whole bunch of extra crap that after a while of wearing it, you decide, oh, I don't need that or whatever. So I kind of want to get to the planning of it here. So. And Jesse, I'll go to you first here. So, if and there's already people out in chat, by the way, commenting on this about, hey, I've been looking to buy one. I'm thinking about buying one. Is Jesse, before you go buy an actual plate carrier, and I'm not talking about the steel or the armor, the actual carry itself, is you need to know basically what your goal is of the system you're going to build before you jump into this, right?
Yeah, I mean, especially, you got to, yeah, exactly. Think what your goal is and what your end result is. Like, do you wear this thing daily for duty, or, are you going to wear it weekends, training, or is it something that's going to sit in your closet until the end of the world hits, and that's when you're going to bust it out and be glad you have it, So, I mean, the first thing you got to look at is what are you trying to spend? If you're trying to spend $100, obviously you've got very minimum standards there. If you're, endless budget, then you can really look at, like I said, a whole multitude of options. So I think your first thing is what you want to spend and what you want to do with it. The next part is, getting into, construction, and that really comes with price point, I think, is, what you're really going to get. Like I said, for value, probably one of the best that stand out in my mind is going to be the Banshee. It's a sub 170, it's around 160, 150. You can find them lower, like 120 on LA Police Gear once in a while on sale. And, it's well made. It's made in the USA. It's made out of 1000D or 500 Kadora. Obviously, I mean, there's endless reviews out there on them, and that's probably your best basic entry over like a Condor that you're gonna spend just nothing on. But from there, like I said, then it just becomes a multitude of options. Do you want a full cummerbund? Do you want a quick release? Do you want a minimalist plate carrier? Do you want, things that you can incorporate different systems like chest rigs and things along that line on? So I think that, like you said, the beginning is figuring out what you're going to use this for, how much you're going to use it, and how much you want to spend.
Yeah. So Jarhead, I'm going to throw the same thing to you there. If let's say you're going to go down this road next week, and something that we will jump into here is we do need to separate, I think, maybe 3 categories. Not that we're going to go into all 3, but civilian use, which is geared towards us and what we're doing, is different than military use and then police use, right? I think you need to break those up, don't you think?
No, I mean not necessarily, because a lot of the civilians are buying this plate carriers, this chest rigs, are training for situations like active shooter situation, and in active shooter situation you got a guy shooting at you. It's just like combat, a guy shooting at you. Some of these guys are training for government breakdowns and Obama becoming a dictator, so we have to do something about it. I mean, this is the reality why some of these people are prepping. So if you're gonna prep for that, and of course we all know that the chances of that happening is like none, but still, if it happens and you're prepping for that, you're going to need to have good gear, good, reliable combat.
Uh-oh.
NSA got him.
Yep, see? Talking bad on Obama!
I didn't hear what you
said. The chance is unlikely. Boom. Shut down.
Yeah. Just happened right now in North Carolina, or wherever he's from, over there. So it looks like he froze up. The NSA got him. So... Let's kind of jump into, you got to hit on the cummerbund. So what is a cummerbund? I think that would be something to start with here.
Sure, let me grab my carrier here. Oh, see, plates aren't light. I'm sweet too.
Oh, there you are.
Back.
Hey, man.
we figured the NSA got you.
Yeah, what did I say last? I gave a whole spiel. It was so good.
You basically said Obama and the chance of that happening is small, and then you froze up.
I mean,
So.
my point was that if you're one of those guys that you're prepping for combat, for some type of breakdown, maybe you need good, reliable gear. If you're just a guy that is just trying to have fun, maybe it's different. But my biggest thing that I would say when it comes down to your vest, even to your system, it would be a couple of things. What are you going to use it for? And Jesse talked about that. Are you going to be mounted? You're going to be dismounted? Because I tell you what, if you're going to be on foot, walking around, that makes a huge difference, And if we see, well, not carrying anymore. In 2010, when I went to Afghanistan, on foot we wear plate carriers. The guys that were on vehicles typically wear the full, chest rig or whatever, not chest rig, full flat jacket. So if you dismount it, I mean, you won't be able to take too much weight. And then the other thing, when it comes down to money, I always tell Marines to spend money. I always tell them, if you're going to buy gear, spend money, because I got to tell you, when you use your gear every single day, and again, we're talking about no crap, combat happened, and we need to defend ourselves, and you're going to use it every single day, just gear that is comfortable a little bit, because I got to tell you, a lot of guys are looking for the comfortable gear. Their gear sucks. You're going to wear a plate carry, it sucks. I mean, you can find something that works a little bit better, but ultimately it's going to suck. So spend good money, but at least have a system that you could put 6 magazines, 6 mags, and a first aid kit. That's like the minimum that you should have in your system. You should carry at least 6 mags and a first aid kit, and everything else you want to put in your kit. And, if you want to make it fancy, U2 operator style, you could do that. But you need something that carries at least 6 mags, 4 to 6. Some guys would argue that, but I say at least 6. Me personally.
Here's something too, which I forgot to do here is real quick here. I should get some history on both you guys, so for our listeners out there can know, in case they're unfamiliar with, of why I chose you guys. I chose 2 guys that have literally worn the things for every day straight for literally over a year straight. But Jesse, you were in the Army. You were in Iraq, I think, 05?
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere in there. Wore literally
05,
06. You used the plate carrier every single day, so you got intimate with the plate carrier. Both you guys have, right?
Yeah, definitely. And our system, like I said, it was obviously the older interceptor style vest, so that's where the plates slide in the front and back, and then you have your side plates here that you would actually attach MOLLE-wise onto there. And then, yeah, toward about the middle of deployment, we actually started purchasing our own plate carriers to, put not the plates inside, because obviously that was against our regulations at the time. So we would just wear the plate carriers over the actual vest to kind of break up that load. Like I said, a lot of the weight you were putting on the front of the vest, because that's where your mags, your grenades, your nods, everything was on there, and it would start pulling it down. And with the plate carrier, it would distribute that weight a lot better.
Yeah. And then Jarhead 6, you were obviously in the Marines. That didn't give it away, and you deployed like 8 million times.
Yeah.
So
I went into December 28 of 2002. Back then we didn't have plates, so the best thing about your plate carrier was that you could fold it and use it as a pillow when you go to sleep. So, but especially when you sleep in top of trucks. Well, nowadays they have shields and all that. Back then they didn't have that. So 2002 to 2003, then again 2004, 2005, then 2007, 2006 to 2008, no, to 2007, and then 12 months in Afghanistan. I don't know, something around there.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Half your life.
Yeah, and about 15 months in Japan, something like that.
Well, that's why I brought these guys on, because again, literally they use this gear every single day to. I know for sure, and I'm sure both of you guys, but I know for sure in Jesse's case where it literally saved your life. So, but when these guys run it every single day, I think they have a lot of insight compared to us guys that might wear it on the weekends, might wear it in a class. So that's why I got these 2 guys on here. So,
no, and I'm a civilian now, like I said, and I'm more like the end of the world guy, like I said, I use it for a lot of training classes and stuff like that. But I mean, my main goal is I guess if anything ever goes down, I want the same thing that the Army's got coming at me. So You know, I want the same good gear,
Well,
and it's a
that's
good
why I got the
workout
Glock
tool as
43.
well. Yeah,
That's
that will do it for sure.
that's why I got the Glock 43, and I've been training on my tempo index because I could react from here.
You gotta go a little higher there, though, but you were
Oh
close.
yeah.
You're working on it. You're working on it, buddy. So, let's kind of jump into maybe some.
What's the best plate carrier?
Yeah,
That's what the people want.
I know that's what they want, but we'll save that for last maybe. But let's talk about style because that's kind of what we're hitting on about the cummerbund there. And the straps too. Jesse, so jump into what the cummerbund is, and then talk about straps and why that's important.
All right, so the cummerbund is this elastic piece here that goes around your waist. So if you can see, that comes around, wraps to the front, and then attaches some way. So as this one, you can see it's a full Molly cummerbund here with pocket. Otherwise, you have just your regular straps that can kind of click in and quick disconnect. I'm sure there's a couple others that I'm missing out there, but those are the pretty much the main two. Is going to be quick disconnect, like I know First Spear's got their new tube system that kind of locks in, but otherwise you're going to get like fast deck buckles or clip buckles, and otherwise, you got the full cummerbund, which you can place your side armor actually in. Otherwise, it has pockets along the outside, and then obviously it's covered in Molly, so you can cover that whole side space as well.
Okay, what do you prefer, Jesse?
Myself, I prefer the full cummerbund just because it gives you a little more real estate to put, not necessarily the side armor or stuff like that. Like I said, more civilian use, you're adding a lot of weight to for mobility, and that's kind of got to be a decision you got to make on your own. Like I said, even in Iraq, I would have cut a lot of that gear for just more mobility at the time. Like I said, I think a lot of the side wounds weren't really hitting side plate. They were hitting guys more in the arm or upper, torso area and missing these side plates completely together. So I think for that one in a, chance that you're going to hit that small of a 6x6 plate on my side that, I'd prefer soft armor in there. But getting away, I like it for more of the real estate. Like I said, now instead of just keeping my mags in the front, I can store more mags into the side of my plates here, and carry a lot more of a combat load with just keeping that minimalist space right there. So like I said, you start, transitioning from your primary to secondary. Like I said, you want to keep everything nice and tight,
Yeah. Well, I'll move to you, Jarhead. Cummerbund there, or are you talking about latches? Have a preference there at all?
No, I like it. A couple of things that I like to put there is my first aid kit, because typically you're not going to use it on you. Typically you use whoever gets hit. So the fact that you don't really use that first aid kit, you could put it back there kind of to the end, and it's there. Somebody needs it, they could use it again on you, and you could have more space to put your magazines and stuff. I like putting my dumb pouch, which is like my favorite pouch, because you could put food, you could put all kind of different stuff there. You could also put your mags in there, the only
I like how you put food as a priority.
I used to put we all put food in there. I mean, if you're in deployment, you will see a bunch of mags, grenades, but you also see like a spoon or a fork or something in somebody's flat jacket. It always happen. But the only thing that you, I guess you kind of got to be careful. Typically, when you take it off, like the back part has like this bungee cords sometimes, and then the side could kind of hang. So if you have your pistol, you have something there. When you take it off, you don't want your side kind of hanging down. So you just got to be careful. But that's some of the things that you're gonna learn as you go. After you drop your rifle a few times, you learn a few tricks not to do them. So.
Well, what other type of other styles would there be, Jesse? On when you look at armor
Another
plates,
big thing you want to look at for the carrier is these top straps here. So this is like a super main important thing to me. Okay, like. The thinner the better up here, I say, because a lot of them you're going to get where they quick disconnect here, but now that adds a big buckle there. So now you got to put a pad basically over that buckle, or that buckle's digging in your shoulder the whole time, and that takes up a lot of real estate. And when you go to shoulder a rifle, the big difference about wearing plates compared to not is you have something there. So when you try to get in there, even if your plates have that shooter cut, but your vest takes up all that real estate, that's the big thing about like the Tag Banshees. It has, these big clip deck buckles in there, and it tends, to get in the way of getting a nice shoulder on the rifle. And, another thing, like I said, is, these, adjustable, you know, quick disconnect. They don't have it in the back, but it's more you pull it, it's still gonna slide right off. So like I said, I get away from those Fast X clips or any type of clip up there. But again, it just all comes down to personal preference. I like mine to come in nice and tight, so they more hold right here on your neck, you know, instead of farther out here on your shoulder. And that just distributes the weight a little bit better. You know, like I said, you're planning on wearing this thing for hours. You're running around in it. I mean, you want to be comfortable as you can. Like you said, no matter what, it's uncomfortable. You're putting a shitload of weight, a heavy plate against your chest. You know, you can't breathe comfortably. Like I said, keeping it as compact as possible is the nice part, you know?
Yeah. Now, I got to say, man, there's something that, now I can't remember exactly what it is, but maybe you could help me out, Jesse. But I think it was like 28 degrees or something like that. The ones that we were in the Marine Corps, like they actually add up like a lot of degrees to your body. So like in combat, you know, Afghanistan, 140 degrees. Now you're wearing a vest that is giving you 28 extra degrees. So your body's at about 168 degrees. I mean, that's something that people don't think about, but that's going to take you out of the fight. So I guess the smaller the vest is, yeah, you're gonna come out of there with a two pack of this. I never had a 6-pack. One point that you made that I think is critical too, the shooting. The ones that we have, the big flat jackets, I mean, with the really thick straps, like it gets in the way with the stock of your rifle. So you're trying to get that good fighting position, which again, I'm not an instructor or an expert, but I like to talk in my elbows and get that small silhouette and trying to engage, and you just can't stock that rifle the right way because you have that huge padding right there. So I'm a big fan of the little straps too. They just kill your shoulders though, for sure.
Yeah, a little bit. Like you said, I mean, it makes it a little rougher getting on and off. As you see on mine, I actually took the pads off, you know, just because they made it thicker. They rub on my neck the whole time, so I just took them off. And
now, Marines are awesome. Like always, we got a few Marines out there. Shout out to the Marines. No hate on the Army, just Marines. But, just gotta say, the guys that shoot the Mark 19s, usually when you shoot the Mark 19s, and if you don't know that shoots grenades, inside the ammo boxes, they have like these cushy things that separates the grenades, like a fun kind of thing. We used to grab that and cut it and do like a shoulder pad just to kind of help our shoulders. But that's kind of like adapting, like overcoming. You know, you have an issue, you find a way to make it better. So just think out there, find ways to make your gear better, whatever works for you.
Yeah,
So,
and I would say nowadays even, I mean, with the options out there, I mean, obviously going back old deployment like that, we didn't really have the options that these guys have now. I mean, there's so many options out there. Like I said, it really just comes down to what you want to spend and what you want out of your gear, you know. Like, as for my gear, I like to run everything as minimal as possible. I don't even like to put anything pretty much on the front or back of my carrier, you know. I've got a D3 chest rig that just clips into these Swift clips right here, and then that keeps my whole combat load on there, but I can still keep this low vis, you know. I can keep this easily accessible for workouts and stuff like that, you know, or if you just go take a class where you don't really need all that stuff on front, you're just running like shoot houses or something like that. That keeps it more minimal. It gives you more options. That's just kind of my style. The only thing, this is the Mayflower APC, and the only thing I didn't like about it is it didn't have a drag handle. You know, for me, I guess I just, from being in combat and using drag handles on guys a lot, that's kind of an issue for me. I mean, I guess you can grab the shoulder strap or figure it out some other way, but it's nice to have something built in there to get a hand on and get a guy out of there. So
yeah. Good luck trying to drop me.
Right, no shit.
You didn't need like 6 guys right now.
Chop 2 of his legs off. We got this. Get him. Cut some weight.
Well, let's kind of jump into there because I think that's a good point. Because Jesse, a lot of people might just think, okay, you buy a plate carrier, and that's where you just put everything. But
motley it up. But yeah, that's a horrible idea because if you try to stack 6 mags on the front and then lay prone, you know, it's like, again, it's the same thing as getting that weapon into the shoulder. It's just not that comfortable shooting position that you're used to getting into. Like I said, it's going to require, I mean, training, you know, getting out there and actually using the gear that you buy. I mean, I understand, like I said, being a civilian, it's kind of one of those things you buy and have to set in your closet and, yeah, break it out one every once in a while. I mean, no one likes to be the guy at the range in a plate carrier, you know what I mean? Like, come on. But, like I said, if you never use it, I mean, what the hell is the point in buying it? So,
yeah.
Whoa. The biggest issue is to look cool. Come on.
Yeah.
Especially if you have a YouTube channel. I mean,
my whole airsoft crew, we got these JPCs here, so fake plates.
Yep. First you do the airsoft, second you open up a training company, but that's another topic for another time. But some people out there might not know that when we say chest rig, that's actually something different than a plate carrier, right? Now, Jesse, I know you sold your D3 and now you have another D3 coming, but can you explain the differences and kind of how those two interact with each other? And then Jarhead, I'll go to you on this here.
Yeah, so the chest rig is kind of like a standalone thing. It doesn't necessarily take armor plates, so that's the difference there. Is it doesn't accept armor plates. It's just got pouches for magazines, admin pouches for other things, and you can run that as a standalone system. So if you want to be light and, just taking a class or something along those lines where you don't require that armor, you still have all your mags there, you still have everything, all your gear on there. But like I said, some of these plate carrier companies like Mayflower and I think London Bridge Trading Company, maybe US Palm, they're all getting in on where they actually incorporate these clips on here. And the plate carrier, or some of the carriers like the Travis Haley D3 or the Mayflower UAW or something along those lines, they'll actually clip right into there. So now you can have this system, like I said, stand alone where you can use it by itself, but if you need to, like active shooter situation, keep it in your vehicle, something like that, you can pull this out, throw on your carrier, clip this in, and now you've got your full combat load. Or if, say, you're running it under a jacket or something, you could unzip that jacket and then go to more of a high profile instead of such a low profile plate carrier. So that gives you, just like I said, a couple more options there. Keeps your plate carrier nice and minimalist, keeps everything nice and tight. Everything's in that chest rig at that point, so it's already in that confined space that's meant for it, instead of kind of getting the pouches. Like I said, a lot of the molly pouches you got to attach, and that's just a pain in the ass anyway, just weaving that molly through there, It's so 2005, man.
Cryptic. It's where the Cryptic's in right now. That's where it's at. But so Jarhead, did you run a separate type of chest rig first, along with your plate carrier?
No, I didn't. What I did was that there's some things that I didn't like having on my plate carrier. So what I did is that I wear a belt. So typically I had a belt, and the best thing about the belt is, like, again, you take your plate carrier off, you have that belt where you could run a pistol, you could run maybe another mag, just in case you find yourself without your plate carrier. And I got to tell you, back in, I want to say January of 2000, is it wartime stories yet? Oh no, are we allowed?
Sure, go for it, buddy.
Yeah, it's real quick. But I want to say January 10 or 11, 2010, the base got attacked by 300 people, like bad guys trying to jump inside the base and attempt to kill Marines, which was a bad idea for them. But my plate carrier was actually on the floor, and I was waiting on a V-22. If you don't know, the V-22 is the cool helicopter / plane that have the two little thing. I mean, I don't know anything about that, but they're pretty cool. And it was about to land, so I'm thinking to myself, wow, really cool. First time I'm gonna get there. I'm really excited, really pumped about it. And next thing, the firefight started up, and I couldn't get in the plane. I was kind of disappointed about that, but anyways, again, my plate carrier was there, and when the firefight started, some guy was screaming at me, hey, go and get your plate carrier. And I was thinking, yeah, no crap, right? I'm going to go and get my rounds. But wearing a belt is pretty cool because it gives you that ability to have a little bit of extra gear. The only thing that sucks about it is that it's a belt, so it kind of pushes it down. So typically, I mean, right now I'm sure there's some tactical company that does this, but we used to go to Walmart and buy suspenders, like the ones that the old guys wear to hold their pants, and just hold your belt in place. But I'm sure there's some tactical company that does it. Yeah. Oh, there is. Okay. Tactical something. But anyways, but the biggest thing that I would talk about, chest rig, versus plate carry is that you have to realize that a plate carry gives you more ability because you can wear plates. That's pretty much.
Exactly, armor.
You know, you can wear armor. The chest rigs typically don't allow you to do that. But again, you're gonna carry more weight. Like me, I got 2 discs out of place on my neck. I got 3 discs out of place on my back. I mean, I got deterioration in every section on my spine. That's why I had to get out. I couldn't walk. So is it a good idea for me as a prepper, as a guy that like guns, to have a plate carry full of mags and all that? Probably not, because I'm going to put it on. I'm going to look super cool. I'm going to walk about 2 miles. 2 blocks. There we go, 2 blocks. And I'm going to go down because I can't carry the weight and my back is going to give up. So maybe a plate carry with 6 mags, 4 mags, a small first aid, it makes more sense to me. Again, I'm not going to have the same capabilities, but at least I'm going to make it because it's not going to take me out. If you cannot carry the weight, and trust me, and Jason could tell you this, get a plate carry, put it on, and go for a 3-mile walk. And if you make it, let me know how that works. Because they weight, you know what I'm saying?
No, that's half the thing. It's a good workout tool, you know. Get on and go check out the Murph. I mean, there's a ton of good workouts out there just to, throw it on and go test yourself. And do that. Like I said, no mags, no nothing. Just put the plates in there. Go give it a try.
Doing that, dude.
Yeah, that's what I said. But, you know, I mean, it is a thing that you do get used to wearing it. I mean, let's get real. After, wearing it for a year, you get that weight where, I mean, yeah, you feel like I said, you're used to carrying that extra weight there. So it's like being, a fat kid and going skinny. It just...
if you want to laugh, go to the military, because the military come out with sometimes the dumbest ideas ever. Like, you will go to work, and it will be, like, raining like a storm, and, like, people dying out there because floating, and Marines will be like, let's go for a run, and let's wear our plate carries and gas masks. And next thing you know, you see 30 Marines running with gas masks and, like, low croin. I mean, the military does that. I don't know why we do that kind of stuff. I guess you can try to understand that. They're just crazy dudes. Love it, though. Miss it sometimes.
All right, I'm going to change it up a little from the gear thing here, but I do want to address a question real quick here that I thought was really good from Hunts for Food 67 that's in the chat right now. Proposed a question, and I would like to get your guys' opinions onto it. And Fabian, I'll go to you first here. So, do regular civilians need body armor?
Yes. And here's the reason why. Every American should have... Man, we're about to go a little bit radical in here, what some people consider radical. I don't know if you're ready for this, man. Every American should be ready to fight. Every single one. That's it. No questions about it. I did a video about this, talked about what's going on in Iraq, how people are, leaving.
You can shameless plug, buddy. I do it all the time on yours.
Oh, yeah. Check out my video. Piss some people off. Some people are really mad, whatever. But the point is that you see over 55,000 people leaving Iraq because ISIS is coming to take over their families, to kill their family, make their kids sex slave, to destroy the country. And that's not going to happen, Americans, because if you try to do that, every American should be ready to grab their assault rifle with their plate carry and be ready to fight. So everyone should have, I guess, Minutemen, whatever you want to call it. Everybody should be ready, You can't try that in my house. I got multiple guns in here. Pick one.
For those podcast listeners, he used air quotes on assault rifle.
Oh, yeah.
Making fun of the media. Everybody's going to be like, because I don't want to get 10 yells. He said assault rifle.
With my 30-round clip.
So, Jesse, do civilians need body armor?
I mean, need... Yeah, no. It's what do you want? It comes down to yourself, obviously. I want, when the world ends, to be able to run through the streets, T-zoning people, and just, feel safe and secure. Because hey, half of you thought you didn't need body armor, so like I said, take it on yourself. I mean, I figured for the $400 investment, or whatever it is, just go ahead and you have that.
So
you could wait in the police or the federal government.
I think civilians need body armor.
If you live by me, yes.
I don't think you need it because I trust the government that they will come here and protect me against bad guys.
So I said, I'm the worst kind of prepper because I don't actually prepare a lot of stuff. I just prepare enough to go take your stuff. So
Oh, are you literally gonna yell headshot every time you shoot? You get a T-zone shot.
I was gonna start adding point value to it, like 50 points, 100.
Okay, but something else I want to move on here, and let's kind of go. It's a perfect segue there, Jesse. And I'll go to you first here. Of why do we're talking about plate carriers and stuff? Why do we want them? And I think we've kind of discovered that of potential issues and such like that. But what I want to go to, and we saw it. I saw it in here early from Bravo One Rescue. Is people like, well, I'd rather be shot by ceramic versus steel. But for the discussion of this show, we're talking it's based towards civilians for whatever type of hit the fan situation that might happen. I want steel plates for the simple fact of if things go down, if things break down, if society falls apart, and if my plate carrier goes bad, gets shot, whatever, there's no such thing as a warranty. I'm not going to be able to send it back and have them fix it, right? So when we go towards this ceramic versus steel discussion, again based more towards civilians, Jesse, you'd recommend steel, right?
Yeah, I mean, ceramic, they just, obviously you're talking about a shelf life product just because it's ceramic, so moisture gets in there, it's how it's shelved, maybe you can last longer than what they have prescribed on the date, but still, at some point it becomes, bad, I guess. So I would say, and also cost-effective wise, that's the other huge issue that you have with ceramics is they're expensive. And like I said, as a civilian, there's not. I mean, we're talking, like I said, end of the world training and working out. Like I said, there's not a lot of reasons that you're going to be out wearing body armor. I guess if you're a door-to-door salesman in the Chicago Heights area, I don't know, maybe then it's like you would want some kind of thin body armor, but other than that, like I said, it's cost effective. You want to be able to buy something that you can let sit in your closet for a while.
Worst job ever, door-to-door salesman in Chicago.
Yeah.
So Jarhead, steel versus ceramic, thoughts on that?
I don't know, man. I use ceramic. I have no experience with the steel, so I'm not going to pretend that I know. I mean, you're talking about warranty. Maybe if we get invaded by Chinese people and we buy it from China, maybe we could change it right there, But but I don't know, man. Ceramics. I knew a guy who got shot in the chest with a ceramic, and it worked. So
yeah, I know a lot of people for sure. It stops it.
So at least it would stop one round. We only got shot one time. But to go back to your first question, I prefer not to get shot by anything.
Yeah.
I guess that's the obvious.
Well, I mean, saying steel's multi-hit capable, even taking 20 rounds, you're still gonna have internal damage there. Like I said, it might not penetrate the steel. It's just the nice part about it is that you can take one round today and then wear it out tomorrow and possibly take another round and it's not destroyed. With ceramic, it's actually coming out of the plate at that point. It might be able to take 2 or 3 right then and there, but you're not going to be able to wear it the next day and the next day. And I mean, even falling, like I would watch guys fall and break a plate. So it's just it happens with ceramic. So.
To me, it makes more sense to get the steel, and plus I heard for the prices that I've seen, I haven't seen any crazy prices out there. They're pretty well priced, too. So
you can go out to just about anywhere. AR500 is the most popular one. AR500.com, and their basic entry level plates cost $65 per plate. I mean,
man, how much are they paying you? You're making money here, don't you?
No, I'm just.
2 weeks from now, Nick will be reviewing AR500 plates.
Yeah. For the purpose of this, we are not getting paid. Me and Jason.
He's like, shit, I just bought these. No, I swear to God, guys, here's my receipt.
Exactly. Jarhead, so if you're going to go out and buy plates right now, because you knew the world was going to end in 2 weeks, what would you buy? Would you buy steel or ceramic?
Well, again, I don't have any experience with steel, but based on the information and based some of the things that you guys have said, I probably will go with steel.
Okay. So I want to move on to one more part here, and we kind of hit on it earlier. It kind of falls under the philosophy of use thing here, but we talk about basically running a lighter load for mobility versus a heavier load for maybe more protection / more gear. Jesse, what's kind of your thoughts, and where do you fall in there? Because obviously both of you guys probably ran the maximum loads that any person would ever want to do. So, where would you fall, Jesse, of, that mobility factor of, more slow you down, less you go faster, and kind of riding that line? What when you look at the philosophy of use of your setup, what would you do?
For me, like I said, I like to give myself pretty much all the options. So, I mean, I've got mine set up where I keep my handgun, my medical pouch, two rifle mags, two pistol mags, and then a dump pouch on a war belt. So that keeps everything right there. Then I've got my actual plate carrier that's ran slick. I've got a hydration pack that just clicks in the back because, yeah, that's a big thing. Out walking, you definitely need the water. So we got a hydration pack that just clicks right into the back, and then I've got the D3 that just clips right into the front. So that gives me to where I can run pretty much any style there. I can run the full combat load of 10 magazines, admin pouches, all the shit, and then, or I can break it down to, just a war belt and have, the main necessities right there. And I think that gives you a lot of quick options. For me, like, I like to keep it in the car as a car rig type deal. So it's just, I can pull it out. I can put everything on real quick. I don't have to, go from, I'm carrying this all the time, because no, I just walk around with my EDC, I got a pistol concealed. I'm not going to have any of this stuff, right there. I have to make it back to the vehicle, and then I'm going to have to get it on quick and get out of there. So I like to be light and mobile, that's, like I said, I think that plays a lot bigger role. I like to be able to get to cover and not be the cover,
Okay, what about you, Jarhead?
Well, I think you could do a test on this. I think that if you're trying to make a decision, if you want to run a chest rig or a plate carry, I think you should go out for a walk a mile. If you can out walk a mile, use the chest rig, because a plate carry is going to take you out of the fight. And like I said, they no matter how, we're talking about 5.8 ounces and this and that. It's still going to be a lot of weight when you put your rounds, when you put all that gear that you're going to put on, your rifle, your pack, your bug out, assault pack, whatever. You're going to be adding up weight. So me personally, I'm probably going to run a chest rig just based on the fact that I have severe back issues. So I cannot carry so much weight. So, but again, that's something that you got to know. When it comes down to gear, you got to know the capabilities of your gear. I know I'm running a chest rig, so if I'm going to get into a firefight or some type of IED strike or something, I know that I'm wearing a chest rig, and I know that I'm not as protected as, somebody wearing a plate carry. So I could be a little bit more careful, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So essentially, go and walk a mile. If you cannot walk a mile,
join
run
a
chest
gym.
rig.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Well, let's kind of jump into the next part here of setting it up, and setting it up for success. And kind of you hit it on earlier, the Jesse, would be, you see it, and you see it so many times at the range, and I'm sure you've seen it everywhere else too, Jesse, and you, Jarhead, of people just put mags, like 3 deep mags on the front,
Yeah.
and all this stuff down. Yeah. Now try to go prone and shoot doing that, because you just added a foot. I'm obviously exaggerating, but so maybe better this way, Jesse. Do you want to run through your optimum best setup that you could possibly imagine, and then Jarhead, I'll have you do the same.
Cool.
Well, for me, I just looked at a combat load. So when I was in Iraq, a combat load was 10 magazines, 9 on you, 1 in the gun. Yeah, you had to carry your medical kit on you. You had to carry hydration. And then you had to have, pockets for admin stuff like nods. Obviously, as a civilian, I don't have nods. I know you can get them, but again, just price point, ridiculous. But that's besides, like I said. So for me, I wanted something that I could run 10 mags, but basically keep it where I don't have to obstruct my body structure of now. I'm not making myself 3 times wider than I am. I'm not giving myself a bigger profile. So that's where I went with the full cummerbund, so I can run, on this Mayflower, it's got a kangaroo pouch here, so this opens up, and you can fit about 3 mags in here. And then, it's got another top admin pockets up here for small maps and items like that. And then in the cummerbund, you can fit 3 mags on each side. So like I said, there you're already looking at half your loadout if you didn't want to put any type of pouch on there at all. Now with the D3, that holds 6 mags. Like I said, I'm already past 10 mags getting out of the house at that point without 2 on my belt and everything. So it's like if I had to, I can carry a lot of ammunition on me and pretty small package, you know. Like I said, I think another big thing is medical, but you want to be able to get to your medical. When I was in Iraq, a lot of guys were running their medical right here on their back, you know, but the problem with it was you could never get to it. You needed a guy to come up and unzip your stuff for you. And, you know, yeah, most of the time the medical is supposed to be used on yourself first, but like Jarhead said, it ends up getting used on somebody else just because it's there and it's convenient. So you want it in kind of a convenient spot to get to. So that's where I like the belt. I can just clip it off no matter what. You know, I can leave my carrier on at that point and still get to my medical. So, I mean, that's kind of my optimum setup. I mean, like I said, it really comes down to what you do with it. So it's all on what you think you're going to go through, you know? I mean, like, you know, you don't want to set it up for, like Jarhead said, where you put it on and it's like, oh, man, this thing's freaking heavy. I'm never going to use it. I'm never going to walk in it. And, I mean, you know. Like I said, some of those like Condors, they're cost effective. They're just huge carriers, man. There's a lot of extra material that doesn't need to be there, and it's hard to judge when you don't know because you've never got to try out the nice compared to the bad. But yeah, obviously this is kind of one of those games that you get what you pay for sure.
Yeah. So Jarhead, what would be your optimal kind of setting up your rig for success?
So a couple of things that I look into that. First, you know, what am I going to set it up for? Am I, you know, hanging alone? If I'm by myself, I'm just going to set up my gear the way I want to. If I'm, you know, I'm a family guy, so I'm assuming that I will have my wife with me, maybe my brother-in-law, my brother. Maybe I want to go a little bit more into team tactics, you know, where I know where everybody's setting up their first aid kit. So if something happened, I know that I could go to your right side, you know, left side or whatever, and the first aid kit is there because again, you don't want to have, you don't want to be looking for the first aid kit when something happened and you can't find it, you know, and stress, you know, people are shooting at you, you're not going to see the first aid kit, so you create that muscle memory that, you know, hey, the first aid kit is in your right side to the, you know, to the back of your back or something. So, but pretty much, I say carry at least 6 mags, at least. I wouldn't carry less than that. Just keep in mind that you could also utilize your backpacks as part of your system because you have your plate carry. Typically, you wear a backpack. That backpack may have some type of MOLLE system where you could also attach things to, you know, magazines, knife, whatever. You know, just it's going to be a little bit more difficult to grab it. But six mags, first aid kit. And make it comfortable. Make it to a way where you could grab it. You know, like Jesse was talking about. I've seen Marines having magazine pouches so way back there that, like, how are you going to grab your mags, man? If you run out of rounds, how are you going to grab that? You know what I'm saying? Because it's, like, way back there in your size. So make it to a place that you could grab it, but make it for you. Because, like me, I'm weird, man. I shoot the rifle left-handed, and I shoot the pistol right-handed. So I'm shooting the rifle with this hand. I'm shooting the pistol with this hand. So when it comes through mags, I got them placed in different locations versus the guy that is just right-handed or left-handed. So make it to a point where you could actually use it comfortable, you know, and create muscle memory, man. You should be able to grab your mags without even thinking about it, and that comes down to training, you know.
Yeah, one thing I want to touch on there is, like he said, and no mags on vest are quick to get to. That's what, you know, I want to put out. Like any mag that you got to get out of a pouch on your vest or anything, it's an awkward motion no matter what. So they're not quick. That's why I like to run pouches on the belt. You come straight out like you normally would, and then I use the pouches here to more refill those admin pouches, you know. Come through there a lot quicker. That creates that muscle memory of going to the belt where even when you're not wearing a plate carrier, you're out just doing normal training. Like I said, you're used to going to that belt first, and it keeps them a lot quicker because, like I said, some of those, I mean, you got to lift a flap to get them out. I mean, I know for sure when I was in, we would take and put 550 cord through the floor plates because stacking 3 in, you couldn't even pull them out. You know, you had to end up grabbing them. They're kind of like the Magpul Ranger plates now, but we'd set our mags up like that because otherwise you couldn't even get them out of the mag pouch at the time. So yeah, I think coming through the belt or coming off of a side pouch, like, you know, something that you have set up dedicated for reloads is definitely a good idea.
Now, and here's something maybe too, which we didn't really jump on to, but maybe we should, is the dump pouches. Now,
Love them.
yes,
Hell yeah.
Twinkies, sandwiches,
Yeah,
anything.
love them.
but here's something that maybe to jump to for those that might not think it's tremendously important. Let's say we're in an SHTF situation. If you're not just going to drop your mags and leave them, right? I mean, that's what the pouch is for. Is if this situation happens, you pretty much want to keep every single mag that you have, because at that point, a PMag goes to the value of them pretty much goes to probably more than what Cheaper Than Dirt would sell them for, right?
Yeah, true. I mean, obviously, it's going to be Met T, so situation's going to dictate, what happens. Obviously, the mag's not worth your life, so if you have to get rid of it. But yeah, in an ideal situation, you want something that, and I mean anything, like, skirming around, like, you can throw whatever in that pouch. That's the end of the world. I mean, for, like, now, I use my dump pouch for, like, loose rounds. So, like, more of the time you're out doing classes, you got to put so many in just a magazine. So it's like, instead of walking back to that can every time, I'll dump 50 rounds in my dump pouch, pull out 5, and, load them up that way. It keeps you on the range. It keeps you, on the firing line instead of walking back to the ammo can every time.
It's funny because I constantly see this instructors and YouTube operators and all this stuff, and apply common sense. Definitely apply common sense. I'm not gonna leave my magazines on the ground. If I could pick them up, I'm gonna pick them up. If I could do an effective reload where I take that mag and put it in my dump pouch and reload, I'm gonna do it. But people are trying to get an answer. Like, are you gonna do it or not? Apply common sense. If a bad guy is coming out in front of you, and you have to drop that mag on the floor to reload, do that. Apply common sense. You don't have to be like, oh, wow, a Staff Sergeant told me to put the magazine here, so the bad guy's going to kill me. I mean, the same thing we go back with that, press check. I reload my pistol, I got a round in there. Well, what are you talking about? You're going to do a press check in a combat? No, of course you're not going to do a press check in a combat. I mean, you'd be an idiot if you're going to press check while somebody's shooting at you. Apply common sense, man. That's we adults. You know what I'm saying? Common sense.
Big
That's
boy
what I would
rule
say about that.
for sure.
Yeah. Who's going to do a press check when somebody's shooting at you? Like, seriously, man? Okay, what do that? 10-4.
Something too, which I've seen the guys in chat, and they were really curious about the pistol and stuff. And so, Jesse, you have a good war belt set up. Do you have a war belt? Obviously, you used a war belt, Jarhead, but do you have one right now?
No, I don't.
Okay. So, Jesse, do you want to explain to everybody what the war belt is, and then talk about the uses for it and your setup? Because and then I'll jump to just kind of some specific questions about it. But do you want to discuss yours real quick and tell me about it, setup, and what you?
So yeah, I run a war belt, which is basically just a padded belt that's got MOLLE lined the whole way, so you can attach MOLLE webbing through it. And my setup, I run my my Glock 19 on the right side. Obviously, that's my EDC. So I would expect going from inside, I could throw this in the outside holster and clip it on. So I run it, just how I would run my pistol day to day. And then immediately right here on my left side up front, I have 2 pistol mags, bullets forward, so I can come out into handgun reload right away. And then I run 2 rifle mags right behind that, bullets rearward. And directly almost to my 6 o'clock-ish, I carry the dump pouch. And then over here about 4 o'clock is my actual medical pouch. And then it's all attached with the Cobra buckle, so I mean super quick on and off. And yeah, that's pretty much my preferred setup. It sits nice and low under the plate carrier, so I can get to my pistol actually off the side. It'll actually clear the mags on this side so that the rifle lands like right in between both rifle mags, so you're not really fiddling for mags there. And of course I run all Kydex over there, so I mean they're quick and easy to get to. Awesome retention.
Well, I should say too that
Force City Tactical, shameless plug.
Yeah, I was gonna say all Force City Tactical holsters are run perfectly on a war belt, right?
Definitely.
Definitely. They're literally built for that. Perfect.
For sure.
But still, basically, for your setup, you basically have your chest rig and plate carrier dedicated for rifle, and you use your war belt dedicated for any sort of pistol, correct?
Correct. I keep a couple pistol mags on the chest rig as well, but like I said, everything out of the chest rig is more meant for admin reload. So it's more refilling these primary pouches. I want to come straight to these every time in a dedicated situation instead of trying to get to these. Like I said, this allows for me to clip in for more gear. It's like I run what you would need if all you could get to is your belt. You'd make it out, you'd be okay. You'd have stuff there, to run your rifle still. But yeah, if you can get to the chest rig and clip that in, now you have a whole world more of opportunity there. You got a multi-tool in that kit, and you have other little stuff that I think you'd want in more of going into a long, dedicated gunfight, to say.
Okay. So, Jarhead, what about your war belt setup? What did you run, and did you kind of separate it out like Jesse does a little bit there? Or
Yeah,
you carried a pistol all the time, didn't you? In the Marines. Jesse, you didn't carry a pistol at all, right?
I carried the M9 when I was a 240 gunner for a while.
Okay.
The best place for me to run a pistol, and keep in mind, I'm weird, if you want to put it that way. I hate having things around my legs. I know some of you guys have these cool holsters that go around your legs, but I found out that after 6 months, up to a year on deployment, you're gonna lose about 3 pounds out of one of your legs. So I didn't want to have like one skinny leg and then one fat leg. So the best place to run my pistol that I found was in that ammo pouch that you have in your plate carry. Like, you put that ammo pouch, has a Velcro, you push it out of the way and you stick your pistol there. It works great. But when I ran a belt, I typically put my pistol in the belt. And, a couple of things like the dump pouch. Sometimes I ran the first aid kit. And that's about it, man. Keep it simple.
Yeah, I see some guys loading, like, they've got enough ammo on their, war belt alone. They've got 3 of the double tacos there, like I said. They can never get to them to actually refill the mags, or it's like, they just collapse on you all the time.
Just a couple of things. When you're running the belt, if you don't have those suspenders holding your belt, when you're running, your belt looks kind of funny. It like shakes on the back. And then if you get it really tight, when you start sweating, all the sweat, like, you will see the guy and you will see like a whole line of sweat all around the belt. It looks pretty disgusting. I don't know if that's a big deal or not, but I hate it.
Make sure your pants underneath are nice and tight, because like you said, it kind of like pushes down on them on the side. You get used to it, though. I mean, like I said, I'm not a fan of the drop leg either. I can't do the drop leg. I mean, some of the newer ones are a little better. They get them more into the thigh, but like, the original like Safari Lands and stuff, we're getting them real low. I know like G-Code now makes some nice drop legs and stuff like that, but I've just never been a big fan. Like I said, a lot of those level 2s, I mean, that's what's required, though. So, if you're on duty or military, like I said, they require that level 2 retention. Obviously, for my setup, I don't need that.
Yeah.
Well, I'd say 4C tactical holsters have great retention.
Yeah, exactly. You can hang upside down.
That's funny.
Because that's what everyone does, They shake the holster upside down. Like, when the fuck are you going to be upside down? Like, whoa, ninja rolled today in my plate carrier and shit. Like, what the fuck? I am not... Oh, sorry, Nick. I forgot. Beep, 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 beep. I am not John Wick.
Now he needs to go... You need to go to the main channel and donate about $5.
Yeah.
That's
at least you did it like in a string of them. You know. That was some rapid fire.
Yeah. Every time you curse, you got to donate $1.
Jeff Blumen would make me rich.
Yeah.
You two have a donate icon, but no one donates.
Yeah, no one donates. So we're going to wrap it up here, and then I know there's a bunch of questions in the chat, but I actually had to stop the chat so I could keep the questions I have on the screen. So, yeah, you just like scroll up to the comments, and it just stops right there.
I don't even know how to see the chat.
Don't worry about it. I got it. I got it handled. So, Jesse, and then Jared, if you got anything to throw in here, you can go for it. But and a bunch of people asked, and you said there at the beginning too, what is the best? Because that's what's important. What's the best plate carrier?
Man, obviously that question really comes down to money. What's the best for the value? Because there's a lot of like great plate carriers out there, and like I said, it's
give me the best, no matter if money was no option.
If money was no option right now, for me, I would probably say it would be a toss-up between either the Pig or the First Spear Strand Hog. Two of them, two different systems, but both of those are super quality plate carriers that are going to have every option for you there. For cost effective, like I said, it would go Banshee for me first, and then Mayflower. And you're talking about probably a $40 or $50 difference there right now, but it's a night and day difference. So, like, you're going to be happy with the Banshee, but you're going to be like, maybe if you use it, you're going to be like, I wish I did something better. But the Mayflower, you're going to be good for quite a while, I feel like, I feel like, especially if you're a minimalist type guy, that's going to be your best option. So I would look at those three. I would stick away from, Cry's good, like I said, but you're talking $324 somewhere in there for just the carrier minus plates, so.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, getting up there.
So, JH, have you done any looking into this, any of the companies, and any that caught your interest at all?
Yeah, I've been looking for a chest rig for the last month and a half, but I have no idea, man, to tell you the truth. I don't have any experience with civilian market, so I cannot tell you which one is good. All I can tell you is that it costs money. If you're looking to spend $50 to $100, you're probably looking in the wrong market. I saw three or four of them from High Speed. What is it, High Speed Gear?
Yeah.
And again, I don't have any experience with that, but I tried them out here in the local store, and a lot of Marines get them, and they seem to be pretty good. But again, a chest rig from them are $200, and that's not even covering the magazine and all that crap that comes with it, the magazine pouches. So anything over 200 to it's going to cost you at least $200 to get a decent setup, but good gear costs money. That's it, nothing else.
Yeah.
You can't fight it.
You can get the D3 from Travis Haley. I think it's about $180 for the multicam or cryptic. So that keeps it nice and tight. That's like I said, more of a minimalist carry, chest rig. And then the other nice one I would say is a Mayflower UW. You can carry a little bit more in the Mayflower, but again, a little bigger. And they're about around the same price, like I said, 170, 180 range.
I think that's an excellent, and I saw that one, and I saw a bazillion reviews on that. I think that's an excellent setup for the basic civilian. We're talking about civilians, because in all reality, what is the chances of Chinese people coming over and taking over? They're not really high. And if it happens, I'm sure we could find weapons and gear in the battlefield. So most likely, if something ever going to happen, it's going to be a riot. Like Baltimore, Ferguson, it's going to be possibly an active shooter situation. And to deal with an active shooter, to deal with a riot, that type of gear is going to be plenty enough to deal with that situation. So I think if you go for that, I think you're going to be just fine, me personally. Anyways, if Chinese people come, you're going to be in trouble anyway. So
I kind of wish they would a little bit.
Yeah.
Kind of a little bit inside. Don't you hope that they do? Just.
Yeah. I don't know.
Then we can wear all the stuff we're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I wear that.
I'm under the impression that this world is going to shit really, really fast. I might be completely radical here, but who knows? It's just.
Is the war's gonna end? I'm gonna go to church to make sure I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go find people that pissed me off when I was in 3rd grade and shoot them in the face.
Hey, you put a disclaimer in this that his opinion does not reflect ours.
All right, so I'm going to jump into some questions here. Man, because I know how far am I on... Oh, wow. I think we got a lot here, so we'll jump to them here. So, Jesse, I'll go to this question to you first here from Hunts for Food 67. So if his question was, and then Jarhead, I'll go to you next here. So, question, if you get hit directly in the chest plate, won't you still get injuries inside of your body? And if there's no hospital, what then? Well, if there's no hospital, what then? That's another question that's so situation based. I don't think we'll go there because.
And not necessarily. I know personally you can get shot in the chest, and it knocks the wind out of you for sure. It'll knock you down. It'll feel like somebody hit you with a bat. You'll have bruised ribs, maybe cracked ribs, But depending how, everything's played into that. How far away were they when they shot you? If somebody's standing 2 feet from you and blast you in the chest, there's probably a good chance you're going to get hurt in some way. But I mean, we're talking, would you get hurt more not wearing the armor or wearing the armor? That's what it comes down to. It's like, of course, you're going to be better off wearing body armor no matter what the situation. I mean, if the velocity was going to kill you beforehand, no matter what, going through you, it's going to do the same. So.
Now, Jesse, what you got hit with what, an AK round, or did you get hit with the big 7.62 by 54R?
No, AK round.
Okay, AK round. Okay. But I'll throw that question to you there, Jarhead, about if you get directly hit in the chest plate, do you still get other injuries? And again, too, that could be situation based of where it hits on the plate and other things. But
yeah, I mean, I never got hit on the chest, but a buddy of mine did, and he just didn't even feel it. Like legitimate, right after the firefight, he kind of came down from the gun, pulled the round out, and it was like, hey guys, check out what just happened. And I wasn't there. This is a story with some of my buddies that were there, and I know this guy for like 10 years, but I mean, other than it may break a rib or something like that, it comes down to like some of the guys having PTSD and things like that. You know, some of those guys get out of the service and can deal with it because I mean it's kind of cool when you got hit in the chest, or you know you're like, oh wow, got hit in the chest, but when you come home and it's not cool anymore and you start thinking about what really happened, I mean some guys have difficult times dealing with that type of situation. So you may not have any physical, but you may have some emotional issues as well, you know. And I know we guys, we think, oh, now this is gonna happen to us. We are hardcore. You know, some guys have issues.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that's fact. Let's go to another question here from Mr. Glock 21, and then Fabian, I'll go to you first here, and then Jesse. So, Fabian, for first-time body armor buyer, best way to go. Would you push them towards steel for a first-time armor buyer in this market?
Yeah, I would go with steel just based on the fact that you could reuse it.
Okay.
I mean, you can't beat that, man.
Jesse, same question to you there?
Yeah, I would look at steel. I mean, if your heart's set on ceramic, there are some good deals out there. Like Grey Ghost makes a affordable ceramic plate, and yeah, I think it's like $100 and something bucks. But you know, like I said, the problem with ceramic is it does have a shelf life. You know, wears out over time. Obviously, as long as you can keep the steel from oxidizing and rusting, which most of them come with some kind of coating on there to prevent that, then it's pretty much going to last you forever. You know, and obviously, AR-500 you shoot at for targets, so it's good for a lot of rounds. You can get shot many times, and as long as you take the round okay, you can live.
I'd be really careful with the whole affordable. I know some companies out there say, oh, affordable pistol, affordable this. Just some things out there are really good, and you find some good deals. But anytime you see affordable, always do a little bit extra research on that, because some of these companies are just trying to make money.
No. Another great question here from Hunts for Food 67. Jesse, I'll go to you first here. What about side plates? You kind of hit on it earlier. Nowadays, what would you tell somebody side plates?
Yeah, I mean, even like I said, deployed, I wouldn't have done without the side plates. They just add a lot of extra weight for really a protection area, you know. I mean, you're talking, it protects the lower side here. So think of how you're holding a rifle. Think how you're in a stance of fighting. You know, nowadays, back then, you know, back in Vietnam, they tell you to stand sideways because of minimum profile. You know, nowadays you have body armor. You want to face front to the target. You want to be, you know, as much of your protected area as you can. That's where you would want to ideally take the round. So, like I said, side plates for me, no. I mean, if you really want that side protection, a lot of good companies offer some soft armor that are good for, you know, one hit of 5.56 or made for one hit of 7.62. Like AR-500, they make some small plates like that. So I would go with soft armor there, other than, like I said, I think you're going to get the side plates, and 90% of people I know that buy them, they never put them in. They'll put them in one time, be like, yeah, forget that, and then they just rock the front and the back. I will say, though, when looking at steel plates, you're going to get the option of flat or curved. Don't even look at the flat, go straight to the curve, because that's what I'm talking about. When you're talking body position and your form, you want it to form around your body, you know, and that flat plate sitting against there, it doesn't feel right, it doesn't fit right, and you're not going to like it. So don't try to save the little bit of money by going with the straight flat plate. Go with the curved, and you're going to be a lot happier, both front and back. I know a lot of people try to go flat in the back. go curved in the back too. You're going to be a lot happier.
Yeah, they do make it look like you have a big chest, though. Just...
What would you say to somebody right now about side plates?
I say they suck, man, big time. I mean, you think about this. This is a response to a tactic. So snipers find out the military guys are not wearing side plates, so they start aiming to the sides. So now we put side plates. So now they start aiming to the head. So what are you gonna put next? A helmet? Then they're gonna start aiming to your kneecaps. I mean, at one point, I know we want to protect our troops, but the enemy attacked over whatever gear you have. So, you know, if think about a big guy out there, one of those guys that look like this, that cannot even walk and can't even face. That's how you look with side plates. I mean, you cannot even bring your hands down. Your elbows won't even touch your sides or your body because you have this thing there. And it's not even just the plate; it's the pouch. I mean, you have this huge pouches where you put the plate inside. In some cases, I'm sure there are better ones out there, that it also creates a lot of bulk. So you have a lot of space. I mean, it's going to take away completely your mobility. So, like I said, you're going to look like one of those big guys or like a really big fat kid walking around in a combat zone. So I don't like them. Me personally, I deal without them.
Yeah, the Christmas story kid in the snowsuit, you know.
Yeah.
Like, Ralphie! Ralphie!
Question back to you here, Jesse, because you brought it up, and it was a question from Jared. Multi-curve or single curve?
Ooh, multi-curve. I don't even know what's the multi-curve. I mean, you know, most of them offer these shooter cuts. I don't know if that's what he's talking about, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe that wasn't an option on my play. You know, I don't know. I just have, the curve to the body, like I said. For me, I mean, these plates here, they've also got this coating on there. So as you can see, that's like a neoprene. So, you know, most carriers, like I was talking earlier, they're set up for ESAPI, which are thicker plates in general. So with that neoprene, it gives you that nice cushion against your chest. So it gives, you know, something to give there. Otherwise, those plates are uncomfortable and... yeah, it fills the carrier a lot better, too,
okay.
So there's not a lot of movement in space. Okay, explain the multi.
Multi-curve, so single curve would be just around the chest, so like it matches kind of like the generic form of the human body. The multi-curve would, inside of it, it would actually go out a little bit. So you would have it stretch this way, and then if you're looking from the front, it would go this way.
Yep, I knew that.
Yeah, I'd say if it's an option, I would probably go with that. Whatever contour's better, because, yeah, you're going to want comfort there. You want a little movement, you know what I mean? Trust me on this.
Yeah.
Makes a little more room in the stomach, right? Right,
yeah,
Jarhead?
for sure.
Yeah. I totally knew what that was.
Did you?
No.
Of course, because you're such a YouTube operator. That's why.
After you hit 300 videos on YouTube sends you all this information. You just got to read it.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
I thought he was going to ask curved or multicam, and then of course you always just choose the option multicam.
Okay, well, yeah, we need to go there. So, Jesse, if you were going to buy a pattern of a plate carrier, what pattern would you buy it?
Well, for sure, nothing black. I've known way too many buddies that originally went black and were like, yeah, this sucks, you know, because you can't do anything with it. So I would say if they don't offer a print, you have to go Coyote Tan, you know, because, yeah, OD Green's way too old school now. It's starting to come back. It's retroing back in a little bit, but it's not quite there yet. Hold off. Go with the Coyote Tan. But now, yeah, you get to places that offer multicam for the same price or maybe a couple dollars extra, some cryptics in there. Oh, you got to go with them for sure. It's all about the prints.
Yeah. So, Jarhead, if you were going to buy a carrier, what color or pattern would you buy?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, one of the most important thing about being in a firefight and being in some type of situation is looking cool. You have to look cool.
That's all about attitude.
Yeah, that's why Marines wear M frames. That's why Marines wear cool gear, because they have to look cool. I mean, you just cannot look not cool. So yeah, multicam looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
that's what you would buy for yourself, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right, let's see here. I don't think I missed any other questions here, man. And again, shout out to everybody in chat. Holy cow, there's a ton of comments. You know, Tyler, Mr. Glock, Mateo, Jared. I think we got another Jared out. Jake, sorry. A bunch of people out there. I know I'm scrolling through and missing a bunch there. I can't remember if I said Tyler. Johnny Hunts for Food. Got a bunch of people out there, so I thank you guys for tuning and watching, hitting all the questions. Jesse, you're going to have to go back and read some of the comments. Hilarious comments about you, sir. You made some people's day. You made some people's I meant it in a good way.
Oh. I'm used to my haters. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I love all of you. No disrespect.
Oh, man. All right. It looks like I'm going to wrap it up there. I don't see any more questions out there. And again, too, this is more of just kind of an intro. And again, I think, and I'll throw this to you guys. I think there's a lot of people out there, especially the way they look at the way the world's going, look at the way our country's going. I think this is on people's radar about getting into this and buying it. I
don't think the bank runs the world and you're not ready for something?
Yeah.
Just go ahead and Google, should I trust Obama? See what comes up.
Did you Google that?
No, I didn't. But I know it's going to say, do not trust him. That's what...
I don't have to Google that.
All right. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. But, I think we'll do some more segments later on specifically. I'm actually trying to get some armor companies to come on and discuss different types of armor, different types of rating. So hopefully we'll do a show based on that as well. But still working on making that happen. But basically, gonna wrap it up here. Yeah, there's a bunch of comments. Jesse made my day. How sweet is that out in the chat there? Then I think there was another comment there about Jarhead. You are the most operational operator on YouTube.
That's right.
It's that.
It's all about the patch.
Oh, the patch. And Jesse, you're rocking the Endo can't even patch. So, should we trust Hillary? That's somebody put in a comment. That's hilarious.
Yeah, duh, come on. Yes, we can.
Hey,
Yeah.
you should say that Mateo got a Glock 42 and only lasted about a week. He already got rid of it.
Yeah, it's because he couldn't handle the power behind it.
He couldn't handle the Glocks.
He couldn't handle the Glock 42. But for everybody out there, please go ahead and check out the Gun and Grave Review podcast here on the Firearms Review Network as well. The last episode, you may or may not have heard me harass all the panel offline during the show, especially about Chad. Chad bought a Sky, whatever, pistol, and so I was harassing him about that because.
Dude, those CPX2s are great guns, okay?
Oh, you correct me, thank you. Especially they come in FDE pink or black. That's amazing.
See?
But go ahead and check
I've seen
out.
them shoot rip ammo. Just saying.
That's funny enough, as I actually mentioned rip ammo during that with that gun. That's hilarious. But check them out as well. I'll check out all the other shows here on the Firearms Radio Network as well. But I'm going to go to these guys here and give them a plug out. So, Jarhead6, what's going on with your channel? Man, you put out like a video or 2 videos a day, don't you?
Well, one a day, and I don't know, man. I don't really have anything going on. My YouTube channel is about whatever I feel on that day. So I may get up and do a video about things that I love. I may show some of my guns. I do shooting videos. So whatever. I mean, the other day I put a video about losing weight. So whatever comes to my mind, I guess I talk about that on that day. But we're gonna continue putting videos. We passed 6,000. We're about to hit 6,300 subscribers. Yeah, 6,300 around there, 6,280 something subs. So we appreciate the support from you guys. Thank you so much, and you guys continue watching, and I continue putting videos.
All right. Well, I need to mention here just a couple of your latest videos. We have 3 ways to get banned from the Jarhead6 channel. Ramadi taken by ISIS. We have Memorial Day remembering those who gave everything. I lost 7 pounds in 3 days. Your weight loss video. 5 reasons why I carry a gun. Shotguns versus pistols versus home defense. Yeah. 5 steps to survive attack. That's just the most recent video. So if you guys haven't, check out the show notes or go to youtube.com/Jarhead6, the number 6 videos, and you will find him. So
I want to say that someone called me gay Brazilian, and I'm not gay or Brazilian. So just to put that out there, none of the two.
Just to clarify.
Just to clarify.
Jesse, has anybody ever confused you with a gay Brazilian?
No, but they're pretty much the same thing. Like, you call me one, you call me the other, Ooh, no.
So Jesse, what's going on new at Force City Tactical?
Oh, holsters. Yeah. Get your holsters.
And maybe other things in the near future.
Oh,
but
for sure. Coming up real soon here. So I
Yeah.
can't wait to announce that, but I'm not going to right now. Got to keep people in the loop. You know, there's a lot of thieves out there in this industry. You got to fucking keep them at. Oh, dang it. That was twice tonight. That was only twice tonight. I'm doing good.
Another $1.
I know.
Pretty soon we're gonna get a free holster.
Yeah. Just credit towards the holster. That's right. But I also should mention here on the show that from the recording this May 27th, June 6th and 7th, myself and Jesse are going out to MDFI. We're going to the You Suck, It's Not the Gun. I believe that's the name of the class. And then Foundation Handgun as well. So we got MDFI June 6th and 7th. And then later on in the month, and I believe there's still a few spots left. Let me look at the dates here. June, I believe it's 26th and 27th. I got to double check that. No, that's July. June 27th and 28th. We'll be down in Alliance, Ohio at Steve Fisher from Sentinel Concepts. We'll be down at the Critical Deployment Handgun and Critical Deployment Carbine. Critical Deployment Handgun, Critical Deployment Carbine. We'll be at that class in Alliance, Ohio. So please, if you're interested in taking some training, join us at those classes. I'll put links in the show notes as well. It's going to be a really good time. There will be some other awesome people in that class as well. I don't want to name drop them, but there's going to be other cool people in that class, way cooler than me, for sure, hands down. But check out that class as well. So I think that's it. I think we covered this. Any other last things you want to throw in here, Jarhead, about plates, plate carriers, anything along the subject?
Just one quick thing. Good gear costs money. So.
It's true.
All right. Jesse, anything to throw in there?
Go follow me on Instagram.
There we go. At Force City Tactical. So. But as always, guys, I really want your feedback here at Practically Tactical. Please send me compliments, feedback, guest suggestions, show suggestions. Please email me those at nick@firearmsradio.tv. I see I did get several emails while I was gone in Idaho. I will be responding to those shortly as well. But also, if you guys out there, if you could please give us a review on iTunes. That helps the show so much in the iTunes ranking. I cannot ask you guys enough for a review on iTunes. Really helps us. And, of course, while you're on Instagram following 4C Tactical, also go find Practically Tactical, because I can definitely tell you that there will be giveaway coming soon on Instagram, so do that. So that's it. Jesse, thank you, sir, for coming on the show and sharing your knowledge here with us on plate carriers.
Yeah, I had nothing better to do. You know.
Jarhead Six, man, thanks for coming on and making this the most operator chat ever.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it.
So as always, guys and gals, I thank you for tuning in. I thank you for listening to us, as I greatly appreciate it. And we'll catch you next week for another episode of Practically Tactical.